In our segment today of Get a Second Opinion, let's talk about something that is very common: anxiety. Over 40 million people, if not more, are diagnosed with that in the United States alone. If you have had it longer than 6 months, then you get an added name to that diagnosis. You now get something they call GAD, Generalized Anxiety Disorder. So whether you're one or the other, or whether you're someone that every once in a while is facing anxiety, let's talk about that. Let's get a second opinion on that before we gravitate to medicine, which totally addresses the body in a very different way. So if you are an anxious person, you lack concentration. If your children are anxious, they lack concentration. So let's take a look at different things that are happening when people battle anxiety. There's no concentration, so I can't focus. I'm going to start something, but I don't always finish it. Or I start 30 things and don't finish any of them. I'm very easily startled. Anxious people that battle anxiety, anything quickly startles them. So they don't have this kind of calmness that others do have. They have a hard time relaxing. So you can't tell somebody that battles anxiety, come here, sit down, relax, observe this, nature, etc. They just have a hard time disconnecting. They're always going. And it has a lot to do with their blood sugar as well. But once you have these things you're battling, I can't focus, I get startled easily, I can't relax, then a whole bunch of other health issues come into play. Now you're going to start battling hormone disruption in your body. So you may have hot flashes when you weren't having them. You may have muscle aches when you weren't having them. You begin to be very irritable. So someone can't come to you without you having a strong response to it. So you get one diagnosis, but it turns into a lot of different ones, because something emotional can turn into physical imbalances as well, or things that affect you. Why does that happen? Because the world we live in today is not the same as it was before. We are very connected. Our children are battling anxiety because we give them at an early age a phone or a tablet, because that's what school gears them to. That is the future they're going to have to face. They have to learn to get up on it really quickly. So we expose them to this connected world that does not stop, that 24/7 goes all the time. So our children at a very early age are being exposed to the things that cause them anxiety. They are connected to this world that never gives us a break. In fact, you are very aware of that because excuse me, that's what happens when you do things live outside. We're very connected in this world where we don't have time to come outside and enjoy nature, which is the other thing. I came out here and thought, as I sat here for a few minutes before I started this video, and thought how beautiful to just watch nature, to listen to the birds, to just enjoy the clouds, because there are clouds today, white, beautiful clouds in the sky. Sometimes there isn't one at all, but today there's clouds. The sky's got such a pretty blue. We don't take time to do that. Our world is so hurried, and we teach our children to do the same thing, so there really is no time to stop. And when we don't stop, we develop these imbalances in our body, because our body wasn't designed to go all the time the way we make it go all the time. I was out and about the other day. I participate in this volunteer service work, and I was knocking at some doors, and I remember I get to see so many neat things when I do that. And I was admiring these beautiful rocking chairs and this gorgeous entrance that they had in the porch. And I thought to myself, I wonder if the people who live in this home actually sit on those rockers. How about you? Do you have rockers? Do you actually sit on them, or is life so crazy that you tell yourself, gosh, I bought those and I haven't sat on those lately. I haven't rocked myself. Who has time for that? So we don't have time because we lived in a hurried world, and we teach our children to do the same thing. There is this Russian proverb that says, and you've heard it, take time to smell the roses. I don't care if it's roses or violets or whatever it is for you. Do you take time to do that? Because that implies that we need to take time to enjoy what's around us. Because we don't, we create extra stress in our body. And as our body has this extra stress, well, we begin to develop all these illnesses that take the medical profession to this special diagnosis of things like GAD, G-A-D. We go on vacation, and when we go on vacation, we come back more tired than when we left. We're like, oh, now I need a vacation. You've heard that. We need a vacation from the vacation. Why do we do that? Why not enjoy a vacation where we do get to look at nature? We get to admire what's going on around us, because the surroundings we have were meant to keep us stable, to keep us at a place where we don't battle anxiety the way that we are suffering it so much. Not only that, but also we've grown up, and however we grew up affects us as well. For example, did I grow up in a household where my parents thought that having emotions were incorrect, especially the bad ones? If you hit your brother because you were angry, or your sister, if you fought, if you got upset, were you in an environment or in a household where you were always sent to your room? Go to your room. Come back when you're ready to, behave more appropriately. So we grew up in an environment, maybe because our parents didn't know any different, where we did not learn to process emotions, where we were taught they were negative, where we were taught to hide them. And so now when I get angry, I hide that emotion. I don't address it. I don't ask myself questions about it. I ignore it, thinking that if I ignore it, that's the right thing to do. But when it comes to anger, if I ignore the things that make me angry, now my liver is going to be affected. If I ignore the things that scare me, that make me fearful, my kidneys will be affected. If I ignore losses when I experience them in my life, like I lost something I loved or someone I loved, pet, human, a home, my country, any loss, well, just get over it. Life continues. Come on, get over it. Do we not process it? When are you going to be done experiencing this episode of sadness over what you lost? That's what we get. Come on, it's been 3 weeks, it's been 3 months, it's been a year. Get over it. If we are not allowed to process the emotions in whatever way we need to do it, and we don't know to do it in a healthy way, our lungs will be affected. So we have so many, how about worry? There's so many things that worry us, and if we don't process that correctly, it affects our spleen. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's our spleen, which is all our digestive system, represents all our digestive system. So look at all the organs that are affected, because I never learned to process emotions correctly. So now what happens? Well, now my body is weaker. Emotionally, things I lived make my organs weaker. And now I am faced with organs that are weak, that every time I go to the doctor for them, I get a new medicine, which make these organs yet more weaker. When you understand that that's what's going on, then you realize the importance of nutrition. And when I look to soul, and I think of what can I do for anxiety, or for this diagnosis people are getting of a generalized anxiety disorder, I think of the importance of giving my body nutrition. And that's what I do with package number 2 or package number 3. If you're new to Soul and you're listening to this video because you found it online or someone shared it with you, ask the person who shared it with you what it means. If you got it because you know me or you came across my video, leave a message. What is number 2, Lydia? What is package number 3? What is that all about? The reason I do numbers with packages is because it's easier to explain programs that way versus giving you the name of 7 products or 6 products or whatever. That's going to be harder for you to remember. You're going to remember number 2 or number 3 versus 6 products I give you. So, and we've designed some of them that way already to help. And we have different numbers. So you'll hear in the videos different numbers. Ask the person who gave this to you, or leave a note here if you came across it on your own. When we are weak, we need to give our body nutrition. Package number 2 and number 3 addresses these illnesses, these imbalances, these organs that are out of balance in a very specific way to help us with that. Now, you may be taking these 2, 3, 4 months. Maybe you've come across this because you've been taking it for a while and you're not seeing the results you want to see. That's because you're missing essential oils. So use essential oils in your program. And because there's so many essential oils out there, and who has time, here we go again, right? Don't stress yourself. Who has time to learn all the essential oils? The neat thing is that they are designed in ways that help me know which one to grab with anxiety. So think of contentment. I know it's backwards. the joys of live recording. Confidence, courage. What I love about these three roll-ons is that they combine essential oils that actually address things that make us otherwise anxious. So they're going to address our mind that way. They're going to work on clearing things that need to be cleared. They're going to work on calming thoughts that need to be calmed. They're going to work on clearing organs that might be stagnant. They're going to work on calming organs that might be too accelerated at this point, overactive, and that's why they're resulting in all this. So to your program, package number two, package number 3, add roll-ons. Don't be overly concerned over which one to add. Don't stress yourself with that. Do one month, do one the next month, do one the next month, or do one until it finishes and then go on from one to the other. On your wrists, because now you can breathe them in and access your limbic system, which is your emotions, the part of your brain that dictates your emotions. Put them on the bottom of your feet because the largest pores are there, and it comes right into the body, and it's going to address any organ that needs addressing. Put them behind your ears because they're going to be closer to the lymphatic system, and you can benefit yourself about, I always say 2 extremes that it goes into the body. So, but incorporate them and alternate them. I'm done with one, I'm going to try the next one. I'm done with that one, I'm going to try the next one. And don't assume that because you felt awesome on this one, this is the only one for you. Remember, our emotions change daily. And as you are on the package number 2 or package number 3, addressing your body nutritionally, guess what's going to happen with the emotions? Maybe the one that was great for you at that moment has now shifted and you need a different one. So alternate the roll-ons. This company, Soul Naturals, only has 4 because you don't need a lot. You have a good variety there to alternate and to begin to use them in what you're doing for yourself. So use the products, use the oils, and then take a look at your lifestyle. Remember how we said that our lifestyle takes us to a place where we are so anxious and we just don't have, we're not sleeping well, we have panic attacks, and it's not enough to tell ourselves, okay, calm down, or it's not enough to have people tell us that. But as you are in the program for a while, now you'll have the tools necessary to make the changes you need to make. Soul will take you with the drinks, the products you take orally, and the ones you put on your skin, and the ones you diffuse. It will take you to a place where now you can make the changes you need to make. You'll be better prepared. You'll be capable of making them. It won't be, I can't do it. It'll just be, well, do I really want to do it? So now it'll be time to change your lifestyle. How do you change it? Be careful with what you eat. We talk a lot about what we're eating. Be careful with having enough hydration. So make sure you're having enough water and water with your drinks, because the hydration and water is not enough. We need the benefits of the minerals, trace minerals, and nutrients that we get in the drinks from Soul. So make that part of your water intake and you'll have the hydration that you need. So eat better, hydrate, exercise. Make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're sleeping at the right time, because now I can. Now, if insomnia was a problem before, as I begin to use all these tools for my body and it has what it needs, now it's going to be able to disconnect. If it isn't happening for you, then maybe your ambiance has to be worked on. For example, if it's 9 o'clock, what does my house look like? Does it look like broad daylight? Are all the top lights on at their highest range, or have all the top lights gone off and I only have my nightstand or my table lights on in the living room? Are my lights dim? Because they have to be in order to prepare myself for sleep, or else my brain will never realize that it's time to sleep. Also, what kind of music am I listening to at that time? You are playing the mamba. You are not going to want to relax. So the music, if you have it on, needs to be classic, jazz, whatever music you like that is calming in nature and not rock or anything like that. 9 o'clock is not the time to exercise. Exercise is done 5 to 7 o'clock. Dinner and exercise is done at that time. So 9 o'clock is not time to eat, and it's not time to exercise, because you will not have the appropriate ambiance for sleep, to induce sleep, and you want to be able to sleep. It is the time to diffuse your oils, however. So this company, Soul, has an amazing combination of essential oils that is called Balance. Look them up online if you need to, or ask and we can post it here. Balance, Calm, and it's going to actually let you put some drops in your diffuser, and now you can prepare yourself. An hour before, 9 o'clock, you can start diffusing these oils so that your body can be better prepared to go to sleep. It is not the time to use your phone. It is not the time to catch up on social media. And boy, think about it now, isn't it what you always do at that time? It's time to get a good book. It's your time, me time. I need to spend some time on me. If we do it every night before we sleep and every morning when we wake up, we are going to be better prepared to face the world if we do it in the morning, to go to sleep if we do it at night. So disconnect from social media. Tell your phone, tell Alexa to remind you, do whatever it is you have to do. Give yourself reminders, but actually make those changes, because that's part of changing your lifestyle. So that now when you use Soul and you use the essential oils, now everything is working so much better. Once the nutrients are coming into your body those different ways, you'll have the tools to make those changes. And then change your focus. See, we talked about how people with anxiety can't change their focus. We talked about how you can try to help those people to change their focus, and they might not be able to because they don't have the tools necessary to do it. But once Soul has come into their system and they have it that first month and they have the oils, something neat is going to happen. They will be able to shift their focus. So how do they shift it? Well, it's time to make time to smell the roses. It's time to think of the reasons that I have for gratitude. What are those? What am I grateful for? Is it my family, my friends, that I have a job, that I don't have a job and I'm retired? What is it? Is it that I'm lacking something of that nature? Then what can I do to help others? Because if I shift the focus and focus on others and how I can help others, participate in a volunteer service of some kind, or reach out to someone that I know needs help with groceries or needs help with doing little things around their house, and I actually have the time, I'm just too anxious. Maybe doing something for someone else, because now I have all these neat tools coming into my body and working. Maybe doing these other things now will be easier and I can do them. And go outside and sit on that rocker, or pull a chair out there even if it isn't a rocker, and listen to the birds, because it's April. And you know what a lot of people don't realize in April? That the birds are out singing, that you can hear them if you make the time to listen to them. So you have the tools. Now just use them.